good morning. Welcome to another wonderful Wadi event. So happy to see you all here. I see some familiar faces over here. It's great to have you here as well. I also see a lot of new people. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Danya Chazan. For the past 5 years, I've been managing clients with Wadi, as well as creating content strategies across the board. Before that, interesting history, I was managing international programs for sister cities in Chicago. And before that, you would have found me cooking professionally throughout California, Israel, and different places around the world. But now I'm back, and I have 2 children, and they drive me, let's say, kind of crazy. And, I have to say I practiced yesterday with them and I got heckled so bad. So it's nice to finally speak to an audience that's actually quiet. But all of that said, it can be very stressful having a full-time job, having children. The way that I am here now, you will see. So these are my 2 kids, the hecklers. To de-stress a little bit, I like to go on the weekends. We like to go on hiking trips, travel throughout Israel. I've got a group of women that we go with just our kids. We leave the men behind. In addition to that, one of my dreams, at least movies that I used to watch when I was a kid, was things that involving kickboxing. So now I am learning Muay Thai. I know Ron also is a Muay Thai master almost. And I also started Kung Fu not so long ago. So all of those things together help and keep me balanced. But I have to say that with all of my history and all of the different things I did, I never in a million years would have thought that I would be standing up here and talking to you about optimizing for AI tools. Especially given my history, you can probably guess how old I am. AI was really just in movies. So here we have a change in the industry. People are shifting how they're searching. Buyers are no longer asking just Google, they're asking AI platforms. We've got ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, Claude, any of them. I'm sure new ones are emerging all the time. So I just want to know from all of you, how many of you have ever tried making video content or some sort of multimodal content? Impressive, more than I thought, but great. Okay, so all of you probably already are starting to see the benefits of this. So the ones that haven't done it, I know it's hard, but the people who are doing it are probably can tell you that once they do start, they can see the results and they're good. And so to kick things off, I just wanted to take you through the data of what we see so far. Back in the day, people used to ask, Google, help me rank. Today, everybody's asking, how do I rank on LLMs? So what the data shows us, 52% of B2B marketers say video is the content type generating the highest ROI. Does that surprise anybody? Probably not. Okay, people have less time. They are on the move, they're on the go, they're at their kids' soccer practices, they're looking through their feeds, they're stopping. They really need to kind of get the message in there as quickly as possible just so you don't lose their attention. So we have to make sure that all of it is really effective and to make sure that our message is there and you're delivering value right away. But people have to remember that the landing pages now also that have videos on them are far performing the ones that don't. It's keeping people on the pages longer and it's delivering. All right, so 89% of businesses use video marketing. So I would tell you that video, and I tell this to all the clients that I work with, video is no longer an option. You have to do it. I mean, this is where the world is. This is where you need to be. If you don't have video, it's really just you're kicking yourself in the shins by not really moving forward with that. 78% of consumers say they want more video content from brands. Okay. I can relate to that. Can you? I mean, for me, as a person who has very little time and also my ADHD brain, I process information far better when I'm looking at from video. The stories that it's telling are sinking in much better. I can also hear a human voice. You have the explanation, you have the trust, you know what's behind there. So for me, it's not surprising at all. Companies using video marketers grew revenue 49% faster than those who didn't. So we can see that ourselves. In all the data that we see, it's not surprising at all because the minute that you have a video up, a page that might have been ranking in one way, almost immediately you can see it starting to get higher position. You can see the time on page lasting longer. It doesn't take a lot of data to see that a video impact is almost immediate. Okay, so 37% of marketers say they haven't adopted video marketing because they don't know where to start. I think that they hold back not because it's not effective, but because they're uncertain. They don't know how to take it forward. Once the teams realize how it's really moving their companies forward and how things are increasing, the adoption speeds up dramatically. The rest of the company is on board. Suddenly you have support and you just want to keep making video. I'm not going to read all the stats. There's a lot to go through. You guys can take a picture if you want. Probably never look at it again after, but at least it's nice to take the picture now. But the one that I really wanted to talk about was this 96% of marketers believe AI will be a critical part of video marketing in the next few years. I have to say I disagree with that. It's not a few years. It's now. We're already there. We all know that we are looking everything through video. Everybody that has ads going up, everybody that has product demos, going to events, having testimonials, this is all integrated now in the way that we are searching, the way that we process the information, and also in our free time, what are we doing? We're scrolling through our phones, we're looking at the videos, the little shorts. Every time we're just jumping from video to video, and that's what keeps us engaged rather than reading. Some people still keep books by their bed, right? And they go through the books. I wish I was one of them, but I think I stopped reading full content a few years back. Probably when my first child was born. But in that vein, it means that really we need to get on the bandwagon if you're not there. Okay, so now because it's so much a part of the landscape, we need to understand how it actually works. Okay, so let's discuss how LLMs actually understand your video. Okay, so AI actually extracts the meaning from your video answers. It's from providing a video input. You have your video that you're putting up, but then the AI is reading the transcripts, the keywords, the topics and entities, chapters and markers. This is huge. People don't even think about, okay, those little chapters there, we can jump down to where we are. But no, that's what AI is actually reading. It's the indicator. It's also reading tone and clarity of explanation. LLMs actually are learning from us. They're learning from humans. So video is actually the content that they're learning from the most because it is natural to them. It's natural language and it's helping to give us back the things that we're searching for. As I said, AI is not watching the videos. We might think it's watching. It's not. It's reading. It's reading everything that you're providing it. So that means that you have to give full transcripts. And I wanted to talk about the transcripts for a second. We put videos on our websites, and so that's great. There we have to provide transcripts with like a drop-down button. I'll go into it later in more detail. But as far as the YouTube has automatic transcripts embedded in their platform. The problem is that we have like nuanced terminology. Like some brands, you have company names, you have acronyms, you have industry jargon that it might not recognize, and it's creating, like you have SOC2, and it might just translate as SOC2, but spelled out like socks, like the socks you wear and put in the laundry. So completely different context, so we need to be clear, and you can edit those. So that's something that we'll come back and talk to later. But one thing also to know about videos is that it's outputting tokens, and these tokens is thousands of tokens in each video, which is actually much more data than in a blog. A blog is, for instance, you have a 1,500 word blog. You have that amount of, it's not called tokens, but you have a lot more that AI is extracting from it. So this is just because people ask me sometimes, what do I implement on my website? Do I do YouTube? Do I do Vimeo? And the key is actually just structured data. It doesn't really matter which platform it's on because it's not watching the video. It's about what it's reading. The others are just more about comfort. One has privacy. One doesn't have ads, which I appreciate. But I find that YouTube personally is a little bit easier for uploading. But we won't go into that because I don't work for YouTube and I don't work for Vimeo. So we'll move on. So how to make your video AI friendly. So I spoke earlier how the AI is processing what it's reading. But now we want to talk about optimizing, because people think they can just plop a video on your website or you just put it on YouTube and then call it a day. No, it doesn't work like that. So I left out here transcripts just because I spoke more about it earlier, but we can add it back later with my editor. But chapter markers, I also said how important those are. It's easy to do, and I don't know if Revi is going to talk about it, but it takes like 2 seconds to pull out chapter markers, especially if you're using AI, which I know a lot of you are. Descriptive titles and descriptions. So this is really how the LLMs are processing what is in the video. You want to embed the videos onto your website, make sure they're there, and then you're going to publish on YouTube for the authority. Even if you have it embedded on a different platform on your website, make sure that it's on YouTube and make sure that it's all with descriptions and titles and chapters and links to your website and other social media. And then you're going to repurpose the hell out of it. Like, you have a video, it's golden. Like, it could be from one event, our event now, afterwards, we're going to put it maybe on the website, and after we're going to have to use clips and put it on social media. And that's how we are really using the most out of what we have from that one video. I will now show you how easy it is to do that. Great example. I don't think they're here today. It's only because I'm speaking and I work with them. Otherwise, they're here at every single event. So we have Martin and Yaniv that I've been working with for ages. They have done a fantastic job of really taking everything that we talk about in our weekly meetings or bi-weekly meetings, and they have a whole page, landing page on their website with their video around the content. They include the transcripts. They have who spoke in the video. They have industry insights from the event they were at. From that, they are repurposing and sending it out to LinkedIn. And they have their blurb and they have their short. And then here you can also see it on Facebook. I did troll their X account and I did not see too much, but it's probably because they know where their target audience is. So we won't hold them too accountable for that. So the short form channels that you can go on is Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, TikTok. Revi, you're probably going to talk about it. I'm going to zip it. But repurpose strategically to maximize your reach. Okay, so these formats, people want to know, what kind of videos should I make? This is just for B2B. So if you're in another industry, I'm sure it applies, but this is just an example. We have like short explainers, how this works. It could be like a product. You want to have customer stories and testimonials. This is huge. Ethan knows that I've been talk to your customers, get them to talk about their pain points, how you've addressed them, get them on video if they agree to it. Event interviews and recaps. This is huge. How much money is a company spending going to an event? You come back with like a measly little list of contacts, but when you have a video, you've got like a gold mine of content for I don't know how many months to a year, but it's really a good investment to take videos from your events, and it doesn't have to be anything fancy. We have product demos, short ones, long ones, commentary on industry trends. This is really important, especially from your high-level executives, from founders, to have them talk about what's going on in the industry. Get them on camera. I'm sure they're used to doing it, especially if they're higher up in the business, then they probably know how to speak better than I do in a public event. But okay, so also 3 things you need to know. Paul Gladstone, who oversees the SEO GEO team, you see his manager's tips. If you haven't seen them until now, you're missing out. After you could probably get, but it's giving people practical tips. If you're an expert in your industry, why not? Why not share your knowledge? That's what people really want to know. It's from a real person. Okay, so short clips for social platforms. We spoke about that as well. We see here an example from Centrix, who is, this is like their platform. Here is from one of the events. This is actually them for promoting careers. So they have people talking, and it depends obviously on the budget that you have, but it's just interesting of what you could do with the videos. Now I want to give you, not a test, it's not a test, but after I've spoken a little bit, we found this video from Wiz. What do you see? This is their description. What do you see that you think is missing or great in this video? They have chapters. That's correct. That's the positive thing. Anybody else? Subtitles. I don't see it. Thumbnail. They have the transcript. That's automatically provided by YouTube, so I'm not giving them any credits. Thumbnails missing.
That lacks links.
No links. Absolutely.
We're clearly not working with you.
This is a $38 billion company, so we would expect a little bit more from them. But I have to say, this is just one example. I have seen their other videos, and they do a pretty good job. But for this case, they're missing all of this stuff that the LLMs need to understand what this video is about and what this woman is talking about. Here, I will show you review of L-Site. L-Site here. Okay, what do you see that we love? This is the description, and there wasn't enough space because they use so much of it that I put the rest on over here. So what do we see?
Wadi client.
We see a great Wadi client. What else?
Timestamps.
Timestamps. What else?
Long description.
Description. Yeah, and that's something that you can add. It's just an immediate thing where when you put your video in, you can click for subtitles. I think that's more for the user, which is great because obviously we want to be optimizing for users as well. We're not just thinking about LLMs. But here, okay, so I'll show you. L-Site, they give their concise description early in. They also are talking about, it's too small for you to see, but they have a few mentions of the industry and product robotics, IoT deployments. They have their chapters. Here is a link to the product itself. Here you can find for social media. We've got more videos. That's optional if you want to bring people in to see other things. But here, the chapters, it automatically recreates here. The transcripts, here also we have the links. As Yoa said, you saw those. You have all of that there so people can go on and find other platforms. This is great for your users. But it is even better for the LLMs because they're reading everything from there and they can promote this when somebody is searching for an industrial IoT deployment. This is going to pop up. That the computer changed. The glasses are coming out. Okay. Just to summarize, we need clear descriptive title, keyword entity-rich first 2 lines. We want a short summary of what the product solves. We want the transcripts available, and I told you before, you can edit these transcripts. It doesn't have to be the automatic thing. You want to make sure that they spelled all the words right, that you're trying to move forward. And we have the chapters that are huge, and it's so easy to do to pull them out, especially using AI tools. Okay, so where to publish? We talked about that briefly, but we want to publish not only for where your users are, your buyer persona, but also where the LLMs are actively pulling data from. So we have YouTube, which is great for AI visibility. Your website, which you have to have it on. If you have a video, please put it on your site. And don't just plop it on there. It has to be context on your site. You can't just have an empty video page. You should have content around it or embed it into a blog or another static page that you have. LinkedIn, great for distribution and very good with credibility. And the short form channels, which we talked about before. And I know Revi will talk more about that later. But you want to publish where LLMs actually learn and repurpose it everywhere. We have a real LLM traffic growth for a video active client. So just for people to see, I'm not going to show who the client is right now, but the numbers look fantastic just from the green. It's easy to tell. But look, what they started doing is they did like short topic explainer videos. They went to the events. They published the interviews. They've got testimonials. They repurposed it. They were appearing in AI-generated answers almost immediately. And you see the significant lift in organic engagement. This is an LLM dashboard, one of our custom dashboards. So it's not just one of the Google Search Console, something like that. But you can see how it increased visibility and traffic from LLMs, which is not to say that they have videos on every page. And some of the pages that the LLMs are directing traffic to might not have videos on them. But as a collective, as a whole, they start to associate your brand with what they've found already. So what they focused on was on clarity, structure, and consistency. And AI rewards content that's easy to interpret and to reference it. So you want to make sure to do that. Okay, how much do I hear from clients saying, I can't do it, we need a huge budget, how am I going to do it? Well, all you need is a phone. Nowadays, we all have these pocket things that we take with us everywhere, and it can just be a conversation talking about insights. You can have real expertise and personality coming through there that's going to be far more effective than a long blog. And most importantly, AI understands it better than any other format. Yes?
I have also a question on it.
Yeah.
I understood that AI now, whereas before, is it that I'm an HC mile wide scenario now is the opposite. It is wide mouthy, but you want to have more speakies and more specificity to your content to really show for you to be picked up most others that ahead of the fields. But what you're talking about is you still a little bit light. I'm wondering in your experience where that falls in the depth of content for super.
There needs to be a mix. It can't just be like content where you're talking to people at events. Look, it's all of it as a whole. I'm not saying SEO is very relevant. You still need to have the content. You need to have your resources, your white papers, your data sheets. You need to have all of that. All I'm saying is that this stuff is enhancing it better. And when you're implementing videos onto your pages that are already talking about the topics that you're an expert in, it's enhancing it further. So we're not just looking at video standing on its own and you can't have anything. You still need your website. You need to have the authority, expertise. And when you're talking, it's just different types of content. Clearly, you're going to still want to have really in-depth things. I know that I showed DriveNets earlier. I know that they had a whole CloudNet series where they talked about the certain topics in software. So they're already showing expert. And it's, you just have to mix and match, I think. But definitely, I agree with you. It can't just be people putting
a contest type thing that repurpose the content or contents that would repurpose the sort. Do you have any? What most?
I won't say what's the most, but I would say anything that you can do, you should. Multimodal, I'm just talking about video, but multimodal really encompasses much more than just that. And podcasts are huge. They're fantastic. You also have a great distribution. You have Spotify, you have Apple Podcasts, you have tons of places where you can distribute that. And you can put podcasts on the top of your blogs. Some people even are using AI to convert their blogs into podcasts and then having those shared throughout.
You don't have a success story without it.
If I have a success story with avatars, did you say, or without it?
Without does not run in a
There's tons of success stories, of course. And the purpose of this conversation is really about how video can really put you forward and how you can be found with LLMs. So, of course, there's many, many stories. But I would be remiss to say if you don't have a video, you're not in the game anymore. This is marketing now. And things have shifted and I would do your best to convince. I can't always convince people to do it, but
one thing that wasn't bad for what you were talking about was, do we type natively on all platforms, or do you both for LinkedIn, or me?
So what you want to do is embed on your website, depending on how. From YouTube, I think it's easy just because it doesn't weigh your site down, and I'm not the tech lead here. I'm more content, but from what I understand is that the YouTube is easy to embed, but you still embed it on your site, and then from there, but not links from LinkedIn onto them. But if you have it in a player, you can put it on LinkedIn. Originally, the video is going to be in what format it's going to be, MP4. So you have to find the embedding. Yeah, natively, and then provide context and the transcription so it can read it, so it's not just the video.
That'd be reporting then. One video is all over the place, and it's very hard to see how many views are getting.
Right. But in a way, it's not just about counting the views. It's knowing attribution, and we talk about this all the time. Attribution is so difficult. So we just know that eventually when things are everywhere, the LLMs are pulling it out, the users are bound to see it, and it's really just enhancing. So you can't go wrong by putting your videos everywhere. But it should be on one source at least where it can be searchable. I know I've way talked beyond my time, right? Like, yeah. Okay, so I just, I have a last one here. Just from the takeaways, because I know, and then I'll answer your question in a minute. But okay, so I'm just going to wrap it up because Revita has some amazing things to talk about, and you also can always enhance everything. But video is now the most discoverable format. If it wasn't clear until now, if I didn't make that point, for both people and for AI, we're all on our phones, we're all watching videos, and that's also what AI is doing. 30% of results from AI, from LLMs, are videos. Structure beats production. So we talk about, okay, I don't have a huge budget. If it is structured properly and you have all of the information that is needed, you really don't need to worry about things being perfect, okay? A lot of people are afraid if it's not great, if it's not exactly how I want it, I'm just not going to put it out there and I'm not going to do it. Just do it and see what happens, because things will get better and easier, and it'll enhance everything that you have been working on, especially with like different campaigns. So video enhances your high value pages. More engagement, more context, better visibility. So we talked about YouTube and your website. You would get the maximum visibility from there. And it's also giving ownership from your site. One video, many assets. You're going to be repurposing everywhere. So the next breakthrough in SEO isn't about beating an algorithm. That's not what we're trying to do. We're joining the conversation, okay? And this is how people are talking now. So welcome. Anyway, thank you.